Hello viewers, welcome to my channel The Cryptogenesis. In the previous video, we covered Bitcoin network protocol upgrades, including Taproot and SegWit, and how these protocol upgrades can be beneficial for Bitcoin network and user. In this video, I'm going to talk about components of cryptocurrency transactions, including input, output, change, and unspent transaction output. Although UTXO input and output are all components of blockchain, these are fundamentals concept in cryptocurrency transaction. So before heading to UTXO, first we will see what is input and output in any cryptocurrency transaction. An input refers to the place where the crypto is coming from in a transaction. It's basically like leftovers from previous transactions. So when someone wants to transfer crypto, they pick the inputs they want to use. Each input says how much crypto is being sent and where it came from. Another important point is that you cannot just send and half an input. For example, if Max only have one input of 4 bitcoins and he wants to send 2 bitcoin to Mike, he can't just send 2 or use half of the input. He has to send 4 BTC and get refunded 2 BTC back to his wallet. What is output? An output is like a destination label in a crypto transaction. When someone sends crypto, they choose where it goes by selecting one or more outputs. Each output declares how much crypto is being sent and where it's going, with the address of the person who will receive it. Until an output is spent, it's an unspent transaction output. Then we will have change. Change is like the leftover crypto that gets sent back to the person who sent it after they have already sent the right amount to the other person. Remember when we talked about Max wanting to send 2 BTC but having 4 in a single input? He would send 4 BTC and get 2 BTC back as a change. The change address is a new address that Max creates in his own wallet to receive the remaining 2 BTC. Next, we have transaction fee. When you make a crypto transaction, you have to include a fee to get it processed. So when you are setting it up, you say how much amount you want to send, who it's going to, and how much the fee is. But you can't send more funds than you have in your account, of course. Then we have signature. Signature is like a secret code that allows you to make the transaction. It is made by using your own private key, which only you have. And again, it's like your password. It's important because it makes sure that no one can muddle with your transaction. Unspent transaction output. In simpler terms, a UTXO or unspent transaction output is an output from a transaction that has not yet been spent or used in any subsequent transaction. Unspent output occurs when a transaction input is not fully spent, the amount of the cryptocurrency that a particular address or a public key controls. When a transaction occurs on a blockchain, it creates one or more UTXOs as outputs. These UTXOs can then be used as input for subsequent transaction and the process continues. Each UTXO is unique and is tied to a specific address or public key. So when you send crypto, you are using UTXO from previous transactions to create new ones. When you are creating a transaction, you need to make sure that the inputs are more than the outputs where you are sending it. The difference between the two is the transaction fee that goes to the miner to validate transaction. The sender needs to have the private key that goes with the recipient public key to prove that they own the funds they are sending. This is done using something called public key cryptography, which uses a pair of keys, public key and private key. Private key is like a password, as I told you before, and the public key is like account number, which you can share with anyone to receive funds. And the sender needs to have enough crypto in to send in the first place. If they don't, the transaction will be rejected, obviously. The recipient needs to have the private key matches the public key of the sender to the sender provided. or they won't be able to decrypt the message and get the funds. Then we have some general rules that we have to follow. You can actually send crypto from multiple inputs to multiple outputs in one transaction, which is pretty common. People use this to send crypto to lots of different people or to get change back from what they are sending. All transactions in Bitcoin have inputs and outputs except the first transaction in a block, which is called the Coinbase. The Coinbase transaction has no inputs. However, only out input of the Coinbase transaction include block reward for the miner. Coinbase might also include a small transaction fee for the miner, but usually it's zero. After that, we have some conditions from sender and recipient perspective. So let's discuss about sender's condition. When you want to send cryptocurrency to someone, you need to prove that you actually own the funds you are sending. This is done by creating a digital signature using your private key, which is associated with the public key of the recipient. Public key cryptography is used to achieve this. Public key cryptography involves using two keys, public key and a private key. The public key is used to encrypt the data. Private key, on the other hand, is used to decrypt the data. Now we have the recipient condition. For the recipient to receive the cryptocurrency, they must have the private key that corresponds to the public key provided to the sender. This is important because the recipient needs to be able to decrypt the message you send, and this can only be done using their private keys. If the private key doesn't match with the public key, the decryption process won't work. In the end, I will explain the components of cryptocurrency transaction through an example. Suppose Max has received two previous transactions, one for 2 BTC and another for 1 BTC, both of which are stored in separate UTXO associated with his public key. Now Max wants to send 1.5 BTC to Mike, so he creates a new transaction with the following details: inputs. Max selects the two UTXO as input, total value of 3 BTC. Output. Max creates two output, one that sends 1.5 BTC to Mike at his public key address, and another that sends 1.49 BTC, that minus fee, that is 0.01, back to a new address that is generated by his wallet software as change, and he will receive this amount. Change 1.49 BTC that is not sent to Mike is considered as change and is sent back to Max in the form of new output. Max wallet generates a new public key address for this output, which he can use in future transaction. Once Max creates the transaction, he signs it his private key, prove that he is the owner of the UTXO being spent in the transaction. He then broadcasts the transaction to the cryptocurrency network where it is validated and added to the blockchain. After the transaction is confirmed, Mike can access the 1.5 BTC that Max to him by using his private key to prove ownership of the public key associated with the output designated for him. Max can access the remaining 1.49 BTC by using his private key to prove ownership of the public key associated with the change input. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.